Hey guys, it's Goosebumps Completionist, and this is my series ranking video for the 6 R.L. Stine novellas originally released in the year 2000, plus my final thoughts. I just want to shout out Steven Chavez and Spongy444 once again for helping me get the lead on this one book, The Adventures of Shrinkman. I really appreciate it, guys. I am a nerd for lost media and secretly released media, and when I learned about this and how that R.L. Stine has confirmed this a couple of times over the years, that this basically is Series 2000, Book 26, The Incredible Shrinking Fifth Grader, I had to have this. And a while ago I made a video about all 6 of the novellas possibly being long lost Series 2000 books, and that video has done tremendously well. A lot of people have responded and left comments on that video. A lot of people have viewed it at the same time. I just want to thank all you guys for showing the support on that video. I heard a lot of great perspectives and great ideas. I'm just saying my opinions in this video. But for the most part, I definitely see Goosebumps links to all of these novellas here. So let's get into my series ranking before I get into my final thoughts, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. So my series ranking, I'm doing my favorite to least favorite, and I'm not going to get into too much depth. I'm just going to say what book they are, what I rated it, and maybe a little thing here, one or two things that I really liked about the novella. So 3 of them I rated on short story criteria, and 3 of them I rated on full-length book criteria. And I decided that criteria, the moment I finished the novella, I thought long and hard about each one. Is it a draft? Is this a short story? Is this obviously supposed to be a book? Those were the thoughts that went through my head most of the time. Looming with the fact that Triple Header Book 3 was canceled and supposedly the stories were written, I think I solved Triple Header Book 3. So before we get into the ranking, I'll give you guys this, my hot take. I think Triple Header Book 3 is 3 of these novellas. And the rest, most likely, are Series 2000, given that The Adventures of Shrinkman is confirmed to be linked to that. It just makes sense if it was. So, let's get into my favorite novella and work our way down to my least favorite novella. Now, my favorite novella was one that I rated on a short story basis. I believe I gave it a 5 out of 5. Dug the cover on this, dug the zombie concept. It's a must-read if you like zombie stories, and if you collect Tim Jacobus covers. Zombie Town. Great story. My second favorite, I believe I rated this a 4.8 on a short story basis. Now, it's funny because on my initial thoughts, I couldn't make my mind up if this was Goosebumps related or maybe something else that Stine had done. But after reading it, I definitely think it has Goosebumps links. I know a couple of people said that it felt like a first draft or unfinished concept because the story felt kind of like a waste. I dug the Omen concept to the story. That's my main draw to the story, even though I'm not a big fan of the ending. But I will admit, the entire novella is based around the Omen itself, and it's not building a story around the Omen. It's just too surface level. And that's why I believe that this is a short story, because there's not enough exposition and progression in the story to make me think that this was supposed to be a full-length book. And that is The 13th Warning. Highly recommend it. Stine rarely does a good Omen book, and when he does, normally has problems. This one is one of those Omen stories he has done that I see little problems with. Personally, I think you'll have a fun time reading this one. So, yeah. My third favorite And this one is a bummer because I truly think that this was supposed to be a Goosebumps book, and I wish it was released in Goosebumps, because if it was, I feel like the story would get a lot more recognition than it does now. It does, however, feel like a draft. It doesn't feel complete. But some of the scenes in this book are terrifying. It's some of the darkest stuff Stine has ever done. I enjoyed it. It just didn't make sense connecting the villain's first half abilities and his second half abilities. And that is the creatures from Beyond. I had a fun time reading this. It's a mind bender. I think if you like Stine in general, and you really like his dark stuff, but you don't want to like read his young adult works, you just want to stick with the middle-aged reader, pick this up. It's really good. My fourth favorite, still in the excellent, 4.5 or higher category. I gave this a 4.5. This definitely feels like a draft, or maybe parts of the story were axed out to kind of release it under Scholastic's radar. Maybe. I had a fun time reading this one too. It's a great shrinking story. It just has its problems, but it hits you in the feels. It makes you sympathize with the character, and it is confirmed to be the Long Lost Series 2000, book 26. So you got to pick it up. The Adventures of Shrinkman. Pretty solid. Now, my fifth spot is one that I rated on the average rating. This one, without a doubt, is a short story. And this has Goosebumps written all over it. And that story is My Alien Parents. Not a big fan of the protagonist in this story whatsoever. Rob is kind of despicable. But it does have its scary moments. It has its mind-warping things going on with it. Feels like Twilight Zone in a lot of ways. So, yeah. And then my least favorite novella was one that I rated on a regular book rating system. And it's just borderline lame. This feels like a concept / first draft, but it already feels like a story that exists. And, for its cool concepts it had with the claw machine, and the fact that he won this prize that grants him a curse and a blessing at the same time, I just do not like the way this story ended. It's too cliche, and it's too not scary of a story to begin with. And that is Three Faces of Me. I gave this one a below average rating in my review. It's definitely the weakest one. So now let's get into my final thoughts. So I guess I'll break them down to what were supposed to be full books and what were supposed to be short stories. So, short stories. We got My Alien Parents, The 13th Warning, and Zombie Town. These three, I'm almost certain, are triple header book 3. I'm almost certain. These two rock. This one's okay. Probably would have been the best triple header book they ever did. I believe that these three are your answer. If you guys are wondering whatever happened to triple header book 3, my opinion, now this could be debunked at some point. Don't take it as fact. This is my opinion. These are that book. Yeah. So, that's what I have to say. I don't think they have Series 2000 links to them. Now, the three books that I definitely feel were supposed to be full-length books, I have an inclination they're probably going to be in Series 2000. And it's because of Adventures of Shrinkman being confirmed. You know this one. A second one to infer is Creatures from Beyond. This is a very well-developed book. It does feel like a draft, but it progresses like a full book. So, really believe this one. Now, this one, it's hit or miss for me. It could be a full book. I do believe it's supposed to be a full book, but where exactly? If I had to guess, it probably is Series 2000, but I can definitely see it being like an idea tester for maybe Nightmare Room at the same time, and that is Three Faces of Me. So, if I had to guess Series 2000 links, I already know this one's confirmed. If I had to guess, these two probably are, with a hard confident that this was linked to that Series 2000, and this one could be teetering on Series 2000 or Nightmare Room. So, all in all, if you guys don't own these R.L. Stine novellas, I'm going to say this now. They have first editions released in the year 2000 that are pretty hard to find. If you are first edition collectors, you're probably going to want to take to eBay and not blind buy off websites unless you're hunting ISBN numbers. But if you don't care and you just want to read the series, Amazon has the entire set. You can get them for like 30 bucks. Easy. And they'll come with this font. This is the Amazon edition, and you can tell on the back, they either have this on the back, or they had this Two Lions logo on the back. And I'll give you a little size comparison to what a first print will look like. First print has this font, and if I turn it on the back, it has Parachute Press. So if you are a completionist like me, and you want these R.L. Stine books for either your R.L. Stine collection, or maybe you think these have very definitive ties to Goosebumps, pick these up, try them out. 4 of them I highly recommend. I gave them excellent ratings. Go watch the ratings. I did give one an average and one a below average, but that is subjective. You might like them more than I did, and that's fine too. So, yeah, basically in a nutshell, those were my thoughts on the 6 R.L. Stine novellas. What do you guys think about all of the books I brought up in this video? If you have read them, how confident are you that these are Goosebumps books, or potentially linked to Goosebumps? Which one was your favorite book, and why? I really want to know. And until next time, see ya.